Well, this is something I never thought I'd be doing, but I am selling my Syncro high top Vanagon diesel, which is killing me. I didn't expect to do it, but I'm doing it. I have to, okay, because of family things and also a new business. So anyways, I'm going to do a walkthrough, show you the outside and the inside of this thing. It is awesome. I didn't expect to ever sell it, so I built it up for family travel, reliability, and livability. And you can really have 4 people traveling in this thing easily. And I'll do a quick walkthrough here. So we have an awesome little Syncro bash plate down there that I don't think they make any more of those. There's a oil cooler because this thing has a 1.9 TDI in it. And it has a mechanical pump from Westy Ventures, so it's a really solid pump, a Cummins diesel pump, and we'll get over to the back end soon enough. But as you can see on top, there's one 35-watt solar panel up there at the front, and then on the back we have 200 watts of solar on that rack. They go through 2 different charge controllers. They're both directed to the house battery, but you can direct that 35-watt to the running battery if you want. We have BFG Goodrich tires on here with Mefro rims. We have Old Man Emu shocks in there that were recently put in about less than 5 months ago or so. And then we also have the Zero Lift Go Westy progressive springs in there. I didn't want this thing to be lifted up. I wanted it to be easy to get in and out for the kids. And also it's already a high top, so we don't want a bunch of wind resistance affecting it. We have the truck mirrors here, really well installed. Everything looks good. They got, oh, and by the way, this is a Euro spec transporter Syncro, so it has all these cool little Euro features, like these little guards for the blinkers, which it also has in the back, which you'll see. So let's walk around. It's a really clean body. I have had there was just the tiniest amount of rust in like some of the seams here. It didn't go through or anything, so I had a auto body shop go through and re-seam seal it and then paint the bottom half, but it is in really good shape. So we'll do an outside walk first, I guess, before I get ahead of myself. So then you look here, these are Sights windows from Dometic. They're double pane plastic windows, so it keeps in heat during the winter and keeps cool during the summer. These actually pop out just a little bit and lock, so they can permanently be open when you're driving or camping, and they'll be locked in an open position, or you can pop them up and have them fully opened and you get a nice cross breeze through there. I don't have the cap on it right now, but we do have the cap. So this is for the furnace, so it's a nice little thing that made from Truma. So the intake and the exhaust goes down here, intake goes in here, so you don't have something dangling out the bottom. It's a propane furnace, thermostat's inside, and it's really nice. Here I have a little cover for the AC, the alternating current. So right there is where you would plug in, and so this was originally imported from Germany to the US, so I had to change everything over to 120 volt. So this works perfectly at any campground, and it actually has a charger, so when you have that plugged in, it's charging the house battery, and then you can run everything off of that. I wanted to have a 12 volt platform, so you're constantly getting sun from the solar panel charging the battery, and then you also have that there which just charges the battery. It doesn't interact with anything else but charging the house battery. So then you look over here, the exhaust is not that loud at all. I wanted to have it as quiet as possible. Open up the back end here, and we have a shower out the back, which is awesome. This hose pulls out really far. You could pretty much wash the back half of the van, but what we do is we'll take a suction cup and mount it here, and then you can take a shower curtain with magnets in it and put it all the way around this and take a shower in there. Here's where you turn it on. Here's at the head where you can turn that on. And believe it or not, I have this routed in with the instant hot water, which is way better than what you've seen on any other van. And I'll get to that. It's on the other side. Open this up. It can fit 2 of these. They're probably, I think they're just under 4 gallons of propane in these tanks. So you can fit 2 of them in here. I just have 1, and then I just store random stuff like oil or coolant or a hatchet or whatever right in there. There's a new regulator up there. So everything is clean and nice. And then we have a nice foam pad, and as most people know, these pads, you sleep better on them when you're camping than when you're sleeping at home in your own bed. Open this up, which is awesome, by the way, because you have all this storage space to put your tools or your camp chairs or other dirty things. I just have my tools in here right now because I had to go through and prep the van by putting on these end caps and other odds and ends just to do this video. So and another cool Euro deal that we got here is you can see this rubber thick pad. It is noise dampening, and it was built up for the Syncros, or for the diesels over in Europe. And this actually goes all the way down the back of the rear bench seat, so it's not just back here. Then right here, a goofy little German thing. So you turn this to the side, put your key in there, and then that allows you to open this up where it's locked right now. So you can actually open that up. Then these windows are plastic. All of them in the back are double pane plastic, and up the side. And then we actually have pocket doors here. So I'll show you that once we get inside. There is the grill over those lights. You have a 50 millimeter tow hitch, a 50 millimeter ball, which is the same size as a 2-inch ball, which is awesome. So you can go to U-Haul and tow things around. I haven't needed to, but you can. And then there's also a Westphalia plug here. This is all professionally done. So you just get a little adapter, boom, and then you can use it over here in the States. So yes, diesel only. And then we have this window in the back, which slides open, so you can drive with this rear window open, and then you drive with this one just cracked. So I'll show you how this one works right here. So there's 3 handles, there, and here, and you can lock it just opened like that, or you can open it this far if you're, hanging out at a Walmart and you don't really want to be seen, but it's hot out. Then you can pop it all the way to there and have a full cross flow of air. So if you're eating inside, you get a nice breeze of air going through. And you come inside. I'll back this up a little bit so you can see. This is a Reimo build. It's not a Westphalia build. The high top is a Reimo high top, or a Reimo. No apology for mispronouncing the word. So there is insulation in between this the outer shell and the inner shell, so it stays warm in the winter, stays cold in the summer, and especially with the help of these awesome blackout curtains, they're reflective on the other side, so it keeps it nice and cool in here, even though it might be 100 degrees outside. And by cool, I mean like 80 degrees, 85 degrees, but livable. You're not in 100 degrees. And then once that's all clicked together, you can pull this down, and booyah, you got a screen. And that goes for all of these. This back one, this one on the slider door, and then if you want to open, you just pull it open like that. This one opens up, which I'm going to do right now because it's kind of hot down here. I'm in San Diego, even though you probably noticed that the license plate's from Washington. This thing can be registered in California without any problems, with smog or anything like that, because it is a turbo diesel and it's a 87. So, all right, here's the up above bed. This is where the kids sleep. I've slept up here multiple times, and it's awesome. You can lay down. As you pull this out, you pull that pad onto here, and it's about the same size as the Westfalia top bed, and then when you're laying, you look just straight outside at the stars. It is really, really nice. And that's also really nice to climb up onto the roof if you need to. I'll pop the camera up there, and you can see we got solar panels, two 100-watt solar panels up there. The wires run through the roof through a waterproof inlet that's up there, comes down, and then actually drops down to the 155 amp hour deep cycle AGM battery from Voltmax or something like that. Tanks? VMAX tanks, that's what it was. So look over here, you got a nice LED light. That's the warm, cool light or something like that. Then this opens up so you can use it to cut things on it. You could even put a boiling hot pot on here. And then this opens up, 2-burner stove, and then we have a sink here. Now this is way better than the Westfalia setup because we have 2 underslung water tanks. One of them is a 13-gallon tank under here, and the other one is a 13-gallon gray water tank. So you got the fresh water over there, gray water over here, and this goes down to the gray water. So you know, if you have it filled up, you can plug it here. You won't get any smells coming up. And then there's a drain on the bottom. So if you're in a national park, you can't, it's actually illegal to dump straight to the ground like what a Westfalia would give you. Where this thing, you can transfer all of your water from there, into the gray water tank, and then leave, and you know, you won't break any laws by washing your dishes. This has 2 settings on it. It's I'm not going to turn it on now, but it has a jet stream, and then it also has a shower type head, and this pulls out. You could even put it out the window and take a shower out the side, which I've done multiple times. You can just shove one of those, that one or that one, down your wetsuit, and have nice warm water rushing down your wetsuit. And then as you're done surfing, which I've done also multiple times, which is why I'm kind of sad to sell this thing, right here we have these knobs from Reimo. So we have, this used to be for the fridge. We've disconnected that because this is only a 12-volt truck fridge, 65 liters, which is awesome. So this is turned off, and we actually have a cap on this so it won't leak. This is for the furnace. This is for the stove, and you can turn all these off by just turning them to the side. This is the MT5 solar charge controller reader. And we actually have our charge controller down there, which it goes up to 35 amps, which keeps everything running in here really, really happy. And we also keep our laptops charged and everything. Like, you wake up in the morning, and if the sun's been out for any amount of time, usually everything's already topped up. So we have a freezer in here. You can make pina coladas with this ice cube tray. This opens up so you can put white wine, milk, anything in there like that. Beer's all in here. It works really, really well. Now, being a diesel, the battery is actually in the back, and we have a Donaldson air intake. There's an intercooler on here that is awesome, so we'll get to that. But there's the battery's back there, which means this battery container and this container are completely empty. I was thinking about wiring it in, but you can get 2, I think it's group G or something, I don't know, batteries in here and there from VMAX tanks. And you can have, each of them are 55 amp hours. So, you know, you'd have 55, 110, plus the 150. So what, 265? 265 amp hours in here. And yeah, these are completely open right now. Down here you can see our table mount. It's really, really stable. This one isn't, I haven't tightened it in all the way, but it's really stable. We also have one up here. So you can put the table up front. This seat's not on a swivel. This seat is on a swivel, so it turns all the way around, just like in the Westies. This table it just pivots and rotates. You can lock it in over here or over there, or when you're sitting here and have that turned around, you can run it this way, or you can run it right up against here. So when you're standing and cooking, you have like all this space to prep food, put other stuff over there, and then you're cooking right here. And then this folds up nice so that it protects the window and anything else. So up here we have extra storage. Again, it's all insulated. So this is just, I did not want to sell this. So anyways, so you click up, these pop into place to hold it up, really smart. And we have these window coverings for all the windows with the new suction mounts and everything. So every single window you can put those to keep in the heat or keep in the cool if it's really hot outside. There's a lot of storage up here, by the way. I'm a paraglider, and I could put my paraglider up here with a bunch of other stuff. And there's actually mounting points here and another one back there and on either side. So if you're putting anything up here, you can cinch it down so it's not going to come flying forward. There's a pocket sliding door right there to access stuff underneath. Now what's cool about the Reimo setup compared to the Westfalia is that, like what I showed you before, the bed's elevated in the back, so you have all that storage space. Well, this is even higher than the Westfalia, so you have about 6 inches more space. We have seat belts all back there. Here's the 125 amp hour AGM battery right there. There's the charge controller. There's the fuses. So if you blow a fuse, you know what's where the issue is. We haven't blown any fuses. Now right there is the knob to operate the hot water system. So you open that knob, and then you go over here. You pull this out all the way, and then you push this button. So nothing's going to accidentally happen. Once you push that button, that is what cycles the pump on. When you open up that valve, that makes a closed circuit so that the pump is running within a closed circuit. When you open that up all the way, it goes through a wire right down to here where there is a heat exchanger, a 40 plate brazen steel heat exchanger with copper on the inside, so you can still have potable water pass through it. So you have coolant on one side of it, potable water on the other side of the plate. There's 40 of them, and you can literally heat up this 13-gallon tank in less than 10 minutes. I would say 5 minutes when you're cruising at regular operating temperature. So what I'll do is, I live about 10 minutes away from the beach, and I'll open that up. I will turn that on and drive to the beach, turn everything off, go surf for an hour and a half, 2 hours, come back, and I have a hot shower out the back every time. If this is cold water, like you just pumped it from a hose, and you didn't want to cycle it through the system, what you can do is pull that out all the way, turn on the van, let it warm up just a little bit, and then you turn on the shower out the back, and you can adjust the water flow so that you can get the temperature just right. So you can have instant hot showers out the back. And if you really want to, you can run a hose into a river or a lake or a bucket or something like that and suck cold water in, and then run it out there with an instant hot water shower. So that's awesome. And if you've ever been washing dishes in the freezing cold and you can't get all that grease and crap off your plates, having hot water in here makes a huge difference. And you're not burning any extra propane or anything. I'll see if I can get you a shot of it, but we have drawers in here that pull out, 3 of them, and there's little Velcro tabs on the side. So, if you have little kids like I do, they're not going to catch themselves on this. You just pull that out, and then grab here, and this pulls out all the way. It goes really deep too, so you're never having to like reach back for anything. And then this pops right there. Now it's locked in, so you can go four-wheeling. Nothing's going to move on you. So let's look over here. So nicely reupholstered seats up front, really nice suede, like it is in really good condition. Up here, let me see if I can get the lighting just right. You have plastic or rubber floors all throughout. I just had this detailed, so this is just a little bit of the overflow of cleaning agent. And then you have this cool glove box, so you can just put bigger things in here than the ones that close. You have 2 charging ports here. This one has a USB one inside it, right? Or this one has USB inside there. And then we have a double USB charger right here, a blue C one, and then you turn it on by flicking it that way, so you can see the light turn on and off. Then this is from Reimo. It's kind of old, but it's cool because it's all in a language I can't understand, and it's telling me in meters how tall this van is. The van's actually about 9 feet 4 inches, just shy of that, I think. Triple knob synchro. All the lights work up here. The lights that light the knobs while you're driving at night works. When you get into sand, this thing is unstoppable. Put it in all-wheel drive, you're cruising, you could still get stuck. Put on the rear diff lock, you can still get stuck in sand. Put on the front diff lock, you will not get stuck. This does not have a solid axle or whatever they call it. It has a viscous coupler, and so you can still drive it on snow and it's not going to lock on you. I would rather have a viscous coupler than a solid shaft, personally, because I like going snowboarding. You look here, this is a Bluetooth deck. It has a USB port here, it has an auxiliary port here, and we have so you can manage your boost and your EGTs right here, exhaust gas temperature, with a synchro, or sorry, with a turbo diesel. It is not power steering, because Europeans don't care for power steering when it comes to these old vans. I do have the power steering lines and the reservoir, so if you want to install power steering, it's really easy. I've just never cared to. You can ask my wife, she parallel parks this thing with no problems, so it's not really needed, and I figured it was just another potential problem to have in the future, so I didn't install it. But yeah, I mean, it has like these little plastic caps. Things are still installed and looking good in here. Let's see, what else do we have? So there's the furnace and the wiring for the furnace right there. It comes out, the intake is right there. The exhaust, air that's forced out is right there. And then you have the thermostat over here, and it's in Celsius, so all you Canadians, you'll probably love this. But we usually set it at around 18, if I remember correctly, to have a good night's sleep. So these are pocket doors. So we have car seats that sit back here with our kids. We didn't want to have these swinging out, so we wanted to be able to access them while the car seats were there. So you just pull this open, and then you have shelving, and here is where you access the SureFlow pump right there. There's the Genius charger, so when we're plugged into shore power, that charges everything. There's a filter on this pump, so it's not going to get clogged if you're sucking in water from a bucket or something like that. And so then we have this side here too. Oh great, there we go. Okay, so we have this side here, shelving as well, all the way down. And let's see if there's anything else here. So yeah, here's the dash. I have worked many times on the road off of my laptop right here. You just put your laptop on there, put a map on there, put your eggs after eating breakfast right there. Oh yeah, that's right. I do have, for the kids when they're really small, here, there, and there, we have a cot that goes up there. So you just pull this chair back just a little bit, and then there's a black, really thick canvas cot that hangs right there, and you can fit two kids on it to sleep on there. It's huge. Or you could put your climbing gear and everything laid out up there, and then you could have your other stuff down below for storage. But it's really nice. Now, you may be wondering what this weird thing is on the windshield. That's actually an antenna, which is cool because if you look at a bunch of other Vanagons over in the US, the hole where the antenna is lets water in, and so that water goes straight to the electronics behind the firewall here. So yeah, so why don't so there's the window right there. Let's go over. This is a Thule high top rack, and these are really hard to find. I had to get this rack out of the UK, so you can't even buy these in the US. Right now I'm using rock straps up here, and I can mount like a longboard, 2 longboards up there. I usually do like a longboard and a shortboard, so we have a variety. This is right next to the propane, so if there's a leak in the propane, it can come out here. And let's see, it's gonna be kind of a pain to open this up. Just a sec, I'll open this up so you can see the engine. Here's the rubber pad for noise dampening. Okay, so we have, so this is a AHU 1.9 mechanical turbo diesel TDI. So there's the Donaldson pump, or sorry, air filter, and this is routed all the way up to the original snorkel inside. So it has the original snorkel. Down below this, through the D pillar, is the intercooler, which you can be climbing up a hill on the freeway, and it's almost impossible to go over 1200 degrees. So it's really good. Let's see here. So this is that's the pump from Westy Ventures, and also when you're driving this thing, there's a charger for the house battery, so it always charges when you're driving down the road. We have the silicone coolant lines. It has the stainless steel coolant lines from Rocky Mountain Westy, and trying to think if there's anything else. I know this video is getting long here. Anyways, it's a solid van. I didn't want to sell it. Like I said, we're selling it because of family deal, and also getting a business going. I'm not out of the Syncro game yet. Hopefully I'll get another one in the next few years, but yeah, this is my home on wheels that we're getting rid of. Yeah, so hit me up if you're interested.